Welcome to your lesson on Pennants and Flags. Let's get straight into the rules. Now with Pennants and Flags, you usually look for a sharp movement up or down. That's multiple candlesticks or one long candlestick, but you want to see a sharp movement in one direction. And with a flag, you are then going to see price consolidate. So it's going to go up and down. Now they usually say if it is a move up, we're going to go up again, but that is false. We could also go down. There's no direction as to which way we go. A lot of people look at pennants and flags and sometimes see them as channels. For example, your flag looks very close to your channel and your pennant looks very close to your triangle. So what happens with the pennant is price then consolidates. It goes up and down after a very sharp move up or down. And then it basically consolidates into a triangular figure. And once again, it can either break up or down. Either way works. Now the rule with pennants and flags is that you will take either the distance from the bottom of the flag to where your flag begins, that distance, depending on your currency pair, or the full distance of your flag. Now, I cannot stress the importance of studying your currency pairs and getting these figures right on each currency pair. So, if this here is 10, we are to expect 5, again with the 50% rule. Same thing with your pennant. It could be from the beginning of the pennant to the bottom of the pennant, the flagpole. Could also be from the top of the pennant, or the top of the flagpole, rather, sorry, the top of the flagpole to the bottom of the flagpole. So if that is 10, either one of these distances, if that is 10, then we are to expect 5. Now, certain currency pairs will expect you to break out by the same number of pips as the beginning of the pennant to the end of your flagpole, or another currency pair could expect you to break out by the top of the flagpole or the beginning of the end of the pennant to the bottom of your flagpole. It all depends on your currency pair. I cannot emphasize this enough. You want to check on your currency pair how this breaks out. Okay, now let's actually try to find some pennants and flags. Now what you're looking for is an up movement, while a very sharp movement in one direction. And as you can see, this is a up movement and it's very sharp. And then a consolidation. So let's join the dots. Okay, now that could have been, now there's no way that we would have plotted it like this. Or is there? We literally could have seen a pennant and this triggered us. Let's just move this down and see what that could have been. Again, we could have seen that as a pennant and we were triggered to the upside. And then price went all the way down to the bottom, but eventually if you held on, it would have come back up. But we don't believe in holding on for this long. This is a bit crazy. You should accept your loss once it breaks out into the opposite direction, if you know that that's what your currency pair does. If your currency pair has a habit of triggering you this side, then you know you want to enter into the market on the other side. Now let's see, it clearly broke out to the downside. So the flagpole is 534, 50% of that is 230. 237, about 237. So that's about our 50%. So it definitely did break out by 50% off the flagpole. Let's look for another one. This looks like a flag. Nice, pretty flag. Okay, so we would have plotted that there. Remember, honesty with yourself is probably the most important thing in Forex trading. There's nothing better than being honest with yourself as to where you would have plotted something. Okay, so at that point, no, I think at that point, at this point, no, there's absolutely nothing there. You can clearly see that that is not a pennant, neither is it a flag. So only once this candlestick forms do we have a pennant or a flag. And if we try to push our way down to the bottom there, then we basically have got nothing. Whereas if we leave it on the green candlestick, we have got a pennant. So this breaks out of the pennant within the same candlestick that we see forming over here, which is our second point. But then it does come back in and gives you the opportunity to come back down again with it. So let's see our flagpole. So that's 513. So it's 232. And we go down. Yeah, it gives us about 230, 259. Now you basically want to go back into time and just check how your pennants break out and your flags break out on certain currency pairs. Okay, so if we leave that there, very sharp movement down. I suppose this could be a pennant. Now, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You just want to see how pennants and flags form on your currency pair as well. And if they form like this here, then, and you can clearly see that when you are back testing that this could be a pennant or a flag, and you can clearly see that it does break out. So this is acceptable on this currency pair. It is 517, so it's 234. 234. So from the breakout, it definitely gives us 234. But it would have played with our emotions for a bit over here. Now we have yet to find a flag. We've just been finding pennants. Could this be a flag? Let's make sure our shadows are touching. I suppose this could be a flag too. The lines aren't exactly parallel, but they don't cross to become a triangle either. Let's check our breakout. So from the bottom to the top, that's 551. So we're looking at 250. Definitely breaks out by 250. So when you are doing your assignment, you want to always make sure that you spot these things and then always insert your text as to how much. So that was 550. Your flagpole was. Let's calculate how much it broke out by. Now you want to calculate the entire amount. So that's 482. And then you also just want to check if you are trapped in a negative, and which you are not. And then just clarify where you started measuring from for your flagpole. And where you stopped measuring from. Just so that we can see that you are doing things accurately. So you started measuring from over here. And you stopped at the top over here. Okay, and that is your flag. So you do the same thing for your pennants and basically take a screenshot and hand it in to us. And that's that. See you in the next lesson.
Well done. Do not forget to place trades. The most important thing throughout this entire process is that you practice spotting your patterns and that you practice placing trades based on them. Even if you lose, it's okay. It's fake money. The aim is to just get the principles right. Fail as much as you can and as often as you can so that you learn from your mistakes. Now let's keep going. Let's get tracing those trades and let's do it.